let's dive into talking about labor positions, labor movement, and then positions to push in. This is something that as I show you the different demonstrations, I want you to try while you're pregnant. Why? Because I want your body to feel it. I want your brain to be aware of all the different positions that are available to you. And I want you to figure out which ones you think you might like so you can share them with your birth partner so that when you're in labor land, they can help remind you of those different positions to shift into. And when it's time to push, they can remind you of the positions that you thought you might like and different ones for you to try. So practice it during pregnancy so you can be ready for the big day. Now, labor movement. Labor movement, let's talk about this because we want to move when we're in labor. Why? Because we're mammals and mammals move. Why? Because it helps baby descend into that pelvis and helps our pelvis open up. If we solely lay down our entire labor and for pushing, we don't access everything that's available to us to help with that process. It doesn't mean it's wrong to lay on your back, but it really takes away a lot of gravity that can be in our favor. It takes away the ability for baby to descend with movement. So we're really trying to get you back to your roots and get you aware of what's available to you and not what's just been told to you over time. So remind yourself, I am a mammal. When it comes to labor movement, I want you moving throughout your entire labor. In terms of positions, I want you switching those up every 20 to 30 minutes. So for example, perhaps I'm laboring with the yoga ball. So I'm rocking back and forth with my contractions. This is movement. And then I'm resting in between the contractions. Maybe I'm moving like this. Maybe I bring a leg up in between. And then I go back into a contraction. Maybe I rock a little bit into that contraction. Well, after I've been here for 20 to 30 minutes, what is actually the most helpful is to switch up positions. So that would look like my birth team reminding me, because I'm less likely to remember when I'm in labor land. And maybe I go to a half kneeling position where I'm leaning over the bed. And then I'm rocking here and I'm having my contractions in this position. So what are some options as you're in labor? So you're moving, but what are the positions? So I showed you one where you can be on the birth ball in this way, more than all fours. You can be in a kneeling kind of position where one leg is up. You might want to labor on the ball where you're swaying back and forth and maybe you lean during a contraction. Standing with a little bit of a lean, whether it's against a counter, a bed, kind of like this. You might enjoy that. A lot of people will hold their partner and hang on their partner. That's incredibly useful. If you have like a yoga swing that can hang down, you can hang in that. That's at a lot of birth centers, sometimes hospitals as well. You can use the edge of the bed, so where the bed is out and then the back is up. You can kneel and labor against that. You can be on a birthing stool. You can be on your back. You can be on your side. There's so many different options for the labor position. So I encourage you just to flow through and see what feels best to you. Now, when it comes time for pushing, there's more options than what I'm going to demonstrate to you here, but the main ones that you can be in, and I'll show you which ones are options for epidurals, are sideline, where somebody will be holding your leg oftentimes. There is a peanut ball that can go in between your legs for sideline as well. This is a position that is going to reduce tearing the most. That's what the research shows is sideline. The next position that is best for reducing tearing is going to be on all fours. So delivering and pushing this way, using your energy, the way that I'm showing with this rocking to push baby out. So all fours has the least likelihood of tearing after sideline. Another option for you is almost all fours, but with your leg out like this. So it's almost this lunging position. There is a half kneeling. So imagine this is the bed and this is the back of the bed. At a hospital, they're able to lift the bed up in this way. And you can labor and push in this position here. There's also the recline position here. And then there's more laid back and then legs pulled back in that classic birthing position that we've seen in hospitals. There's birthing stools where you literally sit on a stool. And then there's also the ability to just squat and push baby out. Now, the positions that are more likely to cause tearing based off the research is squatting. So not a reclined squat, but just squatting like this increases likelihood of tearing, and so does this lithotomy classic birthing position here. If you have an epidural, you may think you have to deliver in the semi-reclined or on your back, possibly with legs back, but that's not true. You can be in the sideline position with a peanut ball or somebody holding your legs for you, and you can also get somebody to help you get up into the position where then you're holding your body in this half kneeling, holding on to the top of the bed, and you can push this way. This position here and sideline is going to reduce your chances of tearing. So let's sum all this up. We want to move as long as possible during labor. We want to shift the positions that we're in every 20 to 30 minutes. We want to look at what positions might feel good to us with pushing and be aware of which ones cause the least trauma on the pelvic floor, so sideline in all fours. And I would include this in all fours as well, this position here. So those are going to be the positions that are ideal for you. And if you have an epidural, okay, well, we know two other ones that are options to you that are going to reduce the likelihood of tearing: sideline and half kneeling against the back of the bed. And then the last piece that I'm going to just circle back to is practice these during pregnancy. While you're pregnant, get on all fours and imagine that you're kind of rocking in labor. You can get onto the ball and rock. Lift up that leg. Play around with leaning and hanging on your partner, or leaning over the bed, or half kneeling with the back of the bed. So play around with all these positions and see what feels nice to you, what you might like, and just play around with them so you're aware that they exist. You have access in your mind to remembering them. You tell your birth partner, and then play around with birth positions that you might be in when you're pushing. And then last but not least, tell your partner so that they're aware of it as well.